Hey crew, Mark Hatmaker here. Let's talk about Jack Dempsey's leg spring hook. Let's talk about Johnny Dundee's leaping hook. Let's talk about the Leavenworth leap. It was a punch being used in early penitentiaries. And we're talking about from the teens on up. I find tons of resources from the 1920s. And actually, you're going to see very much versions of it whenever you look at Tyson in his heyday, whenever he still had Custom Auto. He was still under Custom Auto's tutelage. You can look back towards Jose Torres. You can look. Anyway, it's all over the place, but we really see this leg spring hook in the early days of boxing. I want you to think of it as a power magnifier. It is a way to cover distance. So if you don't even need to have to cover distance with it, it also has a built-in a bit of evasion with it. Where our newest instructional project was the beginning of our big thing talking about knockout power. Our first volume is entirely on this leg spring hook. And kind of, free milk and cows and all that noise. But real quickly, we discussed a fist position. We know when a fist comes out, you guys are know how to pack a fist right now. I'm sure you do. When it comes out, that punch has got to land where we're talking about it. We do know it's got to come out in this horizontal position. It's actually going to be I'm going to leave my hand open so you can see that thumb position. It's going to be a little bit off horizontal. But it is a little bit off horizontal. Well, one, it's going to be horizontal as opposed to a vertical fist, because when you think about it with maximum muscle recruitment, because whenever we're bringing out a fist to vertical position, is primarily be driven, yes, by some of the front delts, kind of somewhat weakish, but it also primarily being powered by the triceps, minimal recruitment by the chest. We want to get all the musculature we can. So when we're coming off into this, you think about power lifters, whenever they're hitting up there that big bench press, they're not moving off to this version of the bar. You can still move weight that way, but we do know when we start turning those hands over, we get some maximum recruitment. We can push in even more than that, even more than the power lifters, because we're going to be pulling the pec minor in. And again, we talk about that within the punch context because we don't have any retraction going on with it. But we need to have that thing coming out in a horizontal position. The horizontal position, maximum muscle recruitment. Yes, the triceps will still be involved, but it's primarily what we're getting in this version. This version, triceps, front delt, pec major, pec minor, big deal. Now, I talked about, just kind of tweaked a little bit. I said there will be a little bit of a downward trajectory with it, but even though that goes down, the body cannot stay up on top of it. Why? Because there's a little bit of an old school hack they were using. These guys, old timers, were wise and canny the ways and ins and outs of the human body, and a lot of that has to do with shoulder structure. If you stay straight up and down, and you are doing any sort of straight on turnover with that corkscrew fist, without this little bit of a tweak in the upper body, not only are you stealing some power, over time you can start running into a bit of some tweaks in the shoulder, and you want to get rid of those. So you want to steal any power from yourself in your younger days. Whenever you're old, you don't want the shoulder tweaks, and this little tiny tweak in shoulder positioning is gorgeous. How to avoid such a thing. So maximize the power, leg spring hook, the fist position. I'm talking, we get really deep in the weeds in this old school stuff. Again, that material is just called the KO Power. Go to our store, www.extremeselfprotection.com. It's up there backwards, I'm sure. And have a look there in the store. The leg spring hook, volume 1, be lots more of where that came from. But right now, mainly thinking if you want some maximum power at a shot, primarily you have to have a horizontal fist. But if you start tweaking it too much without doing any other tweaks off of with your shoulder and your upper body, you might be stealing some power from yourself, and you might be setting yourself up for some shoulder injury. Again, free milk, free cows, and all that noise. It's going to be on the instructional material. Hopefully you got something out of that. At least let you know that this direction right here, not enough power in it to really give you what you want. And there's not an early pugilist who really thought, man, this is the way to go with it. So be that as it may, here comes my thumb.